Hey, we're going to do a couple of really cute little floral molds here. They came from Amazon, and I was thinking I was getting, like a 4-inch coaster mold, and they're like, 2.5 to 3 inches. I'm assuming they're going to take about an ounce or so of resin, and I'll be mixing up Lett's resin Fast Cure, because it has a little bit longer working time than counterculture, which I typically use. But I am using counterculture UV resin and their lamp to kind of set in these little cute, they're transparent and they're a little bit of a floral design. They're not identical, but they're close to each other. And so obviously we'd place it face side down, because that when we unmold the little pieces, that's going to be the top side, is whatever we put on the bottom. But I wanted to kind of set them in place so they wouldn't float or anything would get under them while I'm doing a little bit of a bloom effect behind them, just to add to that little bit of a floral feel. I'm just going to smear around, kind of like a healthy drop. And that's only just to hold these decals in place. So I'm going to put the nice printed side face down in the center, press it down and get it where I want it. If I have to come back and top coat these, I will do that, because I typically do that anyway. I'm not planning on that with these, but if I need to, I will. So I'm pressing that down, and then if you, there's a 30-second and a 60-second timer, but if you just press and hold the on button. So I pressed it twice, which is 60 seconds. It's just it has a little, it comes with a little short cord. This is just my regular USB charging cord, so you plug it into a USB charger, and then you just, that's how you power the machine. So I'm just going to make sure these are pressed down firmly and just let it sit here for a little bit. Okay, so the light went off. I'm going to do it 30 more seconds so I can see through it. I can see the flower. So that looks good. That's all I need that for now. Then we're going to move on to the next step of mixing up the Fast Cure resin by Lett's Resin. I forgot to start my timer after mixing, so if you can, I'll put that over here. I'm going to keep the timer going just so you can kind of see. Maybe I've talked here, been sitting here about a minute since I finished mixing. But once you mix your resin and you want to do a 3D effect, then you start your timer from 0 from that point after mixing. So this is Sparkle White by Etsy Funshine Color Shop. Everything will be below my video in the video description. I'm just going to put just a little bit on my little spoon. My spoon is like the size of my finger, so it's not a lot. It'll give it just a little bit of sparkle, which is always good because I love sparkle. And like, this is already the consistency of what I would wait for my medium viscosity resin to be. But because we're using the Fast Cure, it's a much thicker resin. So I'm just gonna put this aside. And like I said, with the bubbles situation, I do have a bottle here and it's got all kinds of fingerprints, but it's 91% alcohol. You can spray your coasters at any time during any of your process. Again, baby wipes and alcohol work the best for a cleanup on any surface, really. But what I'll do is I'll do a thin layer for sure, and if I have to do a background layer, then I can do that. So we're at 8 minutes. I don't know timing wise with Fast Cure how long it actually really takes. I'm going to spray some alcohol again. If you see any bubbles that are, really evident, make sure to try to get them. I'm going to do 1 drop of lavender, Bray Reese, alcohol ink in the middle. 2. And so with this one, I'm just going to just slightly just do a little bit of a haphazard pattern. So typically with medium viscosity, I would wait till about 94 degrees. They're still in the 70s. I'm gonna wait just a little bit longer. So I'm just gonna basically just kind of randomly go in a spiral, but make it more wiggly, just to go faster. I'm at 28 minutes, and if I had used the counterculture fast set, it would have been already unworkable at this point. So that just goes to show you how much longer the Let's Resin Fast Cure, how much working time you have with it. It's doing pretty good. My fear was that you wait a little bit too long and it may not move inwards, but it's moving and it's shifting, and so we'll just have to see. Once it's to a point where it's kind of set up and firm, I can kind of turn it over and look through the other side of the mold and see if I can see the pattern or whatever. Like, this feels really subtle and I want it to be so much more powerful, but I don't know what it looks like on the other side. This one seems more definite, but it's not really been moving in yet because of the, just the size of the mold will make a difference in an effect. Even if you use the same effect, the size of the mold will change things a bit. I am going to swirl a little bit. I could use my low temp heat tool here, but it kind of blows. It has some air that blows with it, and I don't want to blow the design around, so I'm not going to use that. I'm going to give it one more shot with the alcohol for bubbles. It's now been 6 hours. They're still a little bit flexible. Still going to wear a glove so I don't make impressions with it. Now the mold will pull away. So there is the cute little fluffy mold, and it's got the little flowers in it. I'm going to center it in the bowl and just press down. And then, once this is cured, I'll probably do a very light little bit of a coat next time I mix up some resin and make it glassy looking again. But for now, it's just going to sit overnight. It's really pretty on this side too. I probably could have used a little bit stronger purple. Again, there's the pretty design. And it's even pretty that way as well. That would be pretty as well, but I'm going to do them both. So again, just centering it. Sometimes it'll stretch a bit, so that's why you want to let it really kind of get to the point where it's not going to stretch so much, and you can still flex it into a shape. But I think these will be great little mini bowls. Yeah, somebody could put their rings in it or something like that. So, I'm gonna let these sit overnight. I'll be back. Okay. Now, because this is glass, I can't flex it. Typically, I use plastic. So I'm probably gonna have to pry this out somehow. Okay, note to self, form your pieces in preferably something that has some flex to it, like a clear plastic bowl that has some shine. That way it won't dull the bottom side that's touching the inside of the bowl. I'm going to mix up an ounce of resin and do a really quick coat. I am going to use Fast Set by Counterculture this time, and it sets up within an hour. The Lett's Resin Fast Cure takes overnight to really harden up like this. Okay, I mixed it for about 4 minutes. This is just probably about an ounce, and I'm just going to split it up. It's actually more than I need for sure. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to use one hand to hold it that doesn't have any resin on it, and I'm going to use the other hand. I'm actually going to go around the edge just to give that edge a little bit of shine. Because right now it's kind of matte looking or frosted looking. Before I get my right hand, which is, I'm right-handed, before I get resin on it and get it, messy, I'm gonna just do these edges with the stick. I think I got it pretty good. So I'm just gonna take my stick and push it up on the, see if I can get up close to you. I'm gonna push the resin up to the edge of the inside of the petals. And there's quite a lot of resin in the bottom. And if I need to get rid of a little bit of it, I can. That will help with not having a lot of bubbles. But I do want to make sure I have the inside coated nice and well. So I'm going to put a little bit back in this. And then I'm going to do something really cool with this resin. Do the same thing with this one. Just work it up around the edges inside. I'm going to take this gold leaf that I have in a cup. I'm going to mix that in. I'm going to heat those. They're off camera, but I want to show you up close. So you just take your gold leaf that's in the resin and you pour it out like in a little puddle. Not a ton. Some can be smaller than others. Kind of like putting cookie dough down. So what we're making is little inserts that we can put into like a coaster. Once these cure, you could put them in the middle of a coaster or whatever, and then you won't have gold leaf floating around just by accident in your coasters. And mine, I'm going to make sure and torch the little bowls. And pull these in so you can see it right here. I'm going to use my low temp heat gun just so that it'll not harm the decal that's underneath or whatever. That also helps me see any drips that are around the edges. I'm just going to go back again with my fingers and smooth it out. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe. Love you all.